Should I record right now?
Okay, guys.
Yeah,
I feel
no,
like we
yeah.
have like 10 minutes left. But welcome to another fully remote episode of Shameless Plug. It is I, Xavier, accompanied by these two lovely gentlemen here. It's been a minute since we've done the show, but we're getting adjusted to this new schedule, getting used to things. And I just wanted to ask the squad, how are you guys doing?
I'm great. I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Are
I'm
you
all right.
really great? I
I
heard the
am.
seniors
I
on
am.
campus are whooping that ass. I heard you're getting hazed.
Yeah, it's Freshman Friday, I
not true.
heard.
I heard
That's
you-
not true. No, it's also Tuesday, but
Oh, yeah.
it's not true.
Well, anyway, how are you, Max?
I'm all right.
You all right, man? How's
Yeah.
Nashville?
It's good. It's been raining, but
Well,
the heat broke.
you told us you had to move apartments recently. Did that happen?
They pushed it. We got an email today. They pushed it back to November, but we have to move.
They pushed
Downstairs.
his scalp back.
They put my shit back.
They pushed his wig back, folks. So he's safe and sound. Well, I don't want to keep lollygagging with introductions. You know us. You know what we're all about here.
Yeah.
We do hate
Sorry.
lollygagging.
So,
I don't
we were
hate
talking- You said what, Gabe?
Nothing.
Bro?
Keep going.
Anyway, we were discussing on what to bring up first. There's a lot of stuff. We could talk about the Rolling Stones top 500 songs. We could talk about all this new music in the past 2 weeks, or we could talk about something that I think is more relevant, which is the fact that, unsurprisingly, Nicki Minaj went on a rant on Twitter last week talking about how her cousin's dog's friend's uncle's babysitter's second removed nephew's testicles became enlarged from taking the vaccine. And for some reason, that's like the hottest hip hop story out. If you can't tell, it's been a slow week. So I want to know what you guys think about that. Y'all fucking with the new Nicki?
I have a
Well, I should
conspiracy
say
theory,
this.
So Maxie, go ahead.
The conspiracy theory is that something about her husband, who's a sex offender.
Damn it. Yeah, she
Yeah.
was taking the attention away from that because he's about to go
Yeah.
back to jail.
Yeah.
You guys
yeah.
really think she's that cunning? You guys really think she's playing like media games?
I mean, that's not that. Maybe.
She's legit married
worked.
to a sex offender, so like I'm surprised she hasn't been called out for that more. You know,
Well, he's not on the sex
Her,
offender
and she
registry.
defended her.
but
That was
wasn't
why
that the
he's going,
point?
that's why he's going to jail.
Yeah,
She
that is the
refused
point.
to-
Yeah.
Because he failed to register.
yeah, it is.
Does he- you can't say, well, he's not even on the list. It's like,
I'm just
That's,
saying.
that's the issue.
Okay, wait. Before we get into the actual vaccine stuff about her, doesn't she like have the worst taste in men? No offense, not to be like suspect.
What's wrong with Meek Mill?
Not even that. Wasn't there another dude who like was talking to little girls or did something to a little girl?
that's her brother, right?
Her brother.
Okay.
Or her cousin or something,
Yeah,
right?
that was her brother that she bailed out.
It was her brother. It was her brother.
Yeah. Okay.
Damn.
And she made a song with 6ix9ine at the same time.
So
That's on
this is
TikTok.
what I want to talk about. She is not that she's very popular. She's a superstar, but her music is not that popular. The music itself is it's kind of like dated. I mean, she gets singles on the radio. I remember when Queen came out, Chun-Li was on the radio and a few other songs, but she's not Drake status. She's not even Doja Cat status now, to be quite honest with you. But for some reason, she can say and do the most outlandish things and always bounce back. What's up with that?
She's kind of like Rihanna status.
Well, Rihanna's a billionaire and makes.
Yeah, but it's
relevant
the influence more than the music, you think?
Yeah, but I think Rihanna sets trends with style too. I don't think many people who aren't rappers try to emulate Nicki.
That's true.
I think Nicki just tapped for some reason because she seems kind of homophobic in her past tweets. But for some reason, Nicki tapped into the LGBTQ community, and they latched onto her pretty heavily. And
Very heavily.
And yeah, for some reason, I guess like they.
I guess maybe it's like the over feminine, like kind of.
With the
I don't want to say costume. Yeah, exactly. Like,
Mhm.
the persona of someone who's very feminine, but very, you're right, confident and like by my own terms kind of person.
So then explain this to me. Why is this vaccine thing the straw that broke the camel's back? Because like you said, her husband, sex offender, her brother, I don't even want to say that word, but was doing something with little kids. And then some other stuff I think I heard about it. I don't know. Why is this the straw that broke the camel's back? Because we already know that there are anti-vax people out there, and we already know they're idiots. Why do we care about Nicki Minaj? I'm genuinely asking.
This is, to me, the first time it's been someone who's anti-vax who's not, or rather who is a black woman who's not Candace Owens, who doesn't really, I'm not saying she doesn't count, but like, I
Tell
don't
me
think
you
her
don't know any
audience is
black
really
women.
black
Tell
women.
me you don't know any black women.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
Well, no, I'm not saying her influence matters. I'm just saying like Nicki Minaj, she isn't explicitly conservative, but also, yeah, I'm not saying like we have to think about who responds to this and what. I don't give a shit about like misinformation. I don't know how valid that criticism is, but regardless, she is a black woman who's not explicitly conservative, who's saying this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
She's not a white radio host. She's not Dr. Umar level. She's not, I don't know, some like
She's somewhat
minority.
apolitical, honestly.
Yeah, exactly, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
to see
and it's just
someone-
weird. It's a weird story. So
It's
Yeah,
weird.
it's not the fact that she's anti-vax; it's the story around it. That
Well, what do you think, Gabe? Like, are you surprised?
no,
No, I
but
mean,
I'm also it's at the point where I'm not surprised about anybody potentially being anti-vax.
Yeah. because you're at an
and
HBCU.
especially. Well, no, even here, everybody here had to get vaccinated. I mean, there's
Oh.
kids who weren't happy about it, and there's kids who allegedly there's a lot of kids whose parents decide to send them somewhere else because of that. I don't believe it.
God.
And there's some
Yeah,
kids.
my
you never
parents
see this,
decided to send me to community college because they didn't want me.
Yeah,
to
that's
get
what I'm saying. Like every other school has this requirement.
They sent me to DCU.
The Crib University, yeah. Nah,
It took me a minute.
but yeah, no, I don't know. This is
I'm kind of.
nothing surprises me anymore.
I get
That's
it
what I'm
because
getting at.
kind of tired of the whole anti-vax thing, and at this point, I think we're all on the same page where it's like, let these people destroy themselves.
Yeah, let them kill themselves, please.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've been really, you know what? I've
Oh.
been getting very annoyed with like anti-vaxxers because I've said this a bunch to my GF, but they're really catered to at this point. The vaccine mandates are pretty much you can get it if you want to. Now they're starting to implement stuff. For the past few months, it's been come into our restaurant if you're vaccinated. If you don't wear a mask if you're vaccinated, but we're not going to check. They're just now starting with like if you want to go to school / have a job, you have to get vaccinated. They're completely catered to, and they still complain like they're babies. That's my thing.
You're right, but maybe it's like that in Nashville because in Michigan they're starting to crack down. Because last week I took my brother to see Phoebe Bridgers, and then a couple of days ago over the weekend I took my sister to see Taking Back Sunday. If you can't tell, we are a very suburban family. But anyway, I took my siblings to those concerts, and you needed proof of vaccine for both of them.
Oh,
And,
really?
Yeah.
Does that mean
And
if you're
the bouncer
under?
checked it like an ID?
I mean, because Phoebe Bridgers was at a venue that I'm like affiliated with, I didn't really go through the line, but they do check ID, I think. But Taking Back Sunday checked ID.
So how does it work if you're under the age to get vaccinated?
Oh, I think. Well, you're good then.
They
I
just
think-
don't. Okay, I think so because I know my brother went to the Michigan game and he's 11, so he hasn't been vaccinated yet. But
Yeah, I think they're fine. But I'm glad. But my point is, I'm glad that like Michigan, at least, society is starting to crack down on the anti-vax people. But Nicki Minaj, this honestly doesn't surprise me whatsoever. And the more I think about it, the more we talk about it out loud. Max, your point is starting to make more sense. I truly think she is kind of using this as a distraction. I just don't understand why she would marry that guy. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know.
it could be true love. Like, I know I'm always the last one to talk about that, but she could genuinely be in love with that guy. But
here's the question: why? You can ask why to that as well.
he listens to her and he lays
He
it
also
down.
he also essay. He also does that. I don't get. It seems like it's a kind of. I don't want to say. Well, it's a kind of crime, I guess, that like you'd think kind of represents a person's character at least a little bit. It's not like jaywalking.
It's not like fraud, which I'm not saying is good, but I mean, it's not as like, barbaric.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
So, I think what disturbs me the most about this is the fact that Tommy Loren, Candace Owens, all those conservative people are kind of using Nicki Minaj as an icon now. And a lot of the LGBTQ people I know who do like Nicki Minaj, some, I might live with, some I don't, have stopped supporting her completely.
You're done.
I hear they're done, and I think she's losing her credibility. I think she's losing her base, and at what cost? Because the people who are supporting her for being anti-vax are not listening to her music. They're just complaining about WAP. You know what I mean?
That's what happens a lot, where these kind of people are like, they're anti-woke icons for some reason without actually being engaged with, like, recently Norm Macdonald passed away, which is very sad, but a lot of conservatives talking about, like, he just didn't give a F. He was
okay. Yeah,
he hated this PC woke culture. Yeah.
Was he anti-woke? Like,
no, he was just he's a comedian, or was he was like I think a lot of comedians, especially at his age, he was 61 or 62.
62, yeah.
Yeah, and
Hey, how did you know that off rip? You a Norm fan?
Bro, I have
like
a weird memory. I remember shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think with him, like a lot of comedians, especially, to be frank, well, not even, I wouldn't even say necessarily white male comedians, because I think a lot of older comedians in general, they kind of don't like to be told they can't say a joke, especially Norm. Like, his jokes are, the explicit point of many of them was to say something heinous to, like, get a weird reaction, but a lot of conservatives like him because he just didn't give a F, or he said what he wanted. I think that the joke, they just didn't even get the joke. Like, the point isn't this disgusting thing is funny. The point is, like, why would you say this? This isn't a correct punchline. I don't know, whatever. But yeah, I've seen a lot of conservative people on Twitter and like Instagram and stuff who are like, I wonder what he had to say about woke people, or like, he persevered despite this cancel culture we live in, or something like that. And it's just like,
and so you're saying Nicki Minaj? Oh, sorry, please.
I mean, at least he's like, I can kind of get that from his material. Nicki Minaj, like, they're not listening to any of her music, I guarantee you.
None. And it's weird to me because now she just split her audience for no reason. You have people who support her who likely aren't listening to her music, and then you have people who are listening to her music who likely don't support her views. And it's really disappointing. What's up?
We're forgetting them. Okay, it's not. But here's the thing: like the whole, she's a hero to conservatives now and all that shit. Bro, the important thing here is she told a ridiculous story.
Oh yeah,
you know what? Yeah.
You're talking about the story.
That's like the
right.
story is insane. So that's more than anything.
So what is the exact, like, a wedding had to be canceled because someone's nuts were too big?
Yeah, which is after
sounds
the
like
vaccine.
the bachelor party.
We've all been there.
Like the bachelor.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, first off, her story was anecdotal, which you shouldn't really take as evidence of anything anyway. And she said her friend's friend in Trinidad, I believe, because she's Trinidadian. Mm-hmm. Her friend's friend in Trinidad was supposed to get married, but then after he got the vaccine, wink, wink, his balls got too big to get married. I don't know why that matters. Like, what does that mean? Like, they weighed too much, he couldn't move? I don't know. But number one, that's not real evidence, obviously, Nicki. Number two, people were saying it probably seems like you just got some kind of STD and didn't want to, didn't want to admit.
Like, imagine being that guy and you like cheated on your girlfriend or wife or something, and you're like, oh God, it was the vaccine. And then Nicki Minaj airs it out.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God, it's just everything about this is so stupid.
But the story too is like I said, like if your balls are swollen a little bit, I think you can still get married. I wouldn't call off a marriage. You can postpone it maybe, but like, why would you call it off?
I don't. It's so nonsensical that, and I say this all the time. I've said it on the show probably like a billion times. It's so nonsensical that I am starting to believe the first conspiracy theory that it is 4D chess, because you can't be. How can you be that successful? How can you be that influential and that accustomed to the spotlight? I mean, granted, Nicki has never had the best PR, but she's used to the spotlight. How can you be accustomed to the spotlight and say something so ridiculous?
It's kind of just like a bubble. She's kind of insulated with the fame and wealth she has. I don't know if she really like ever needs to face any kind of criticism, really.
So you're saying we need to eat the rich?
But I also wanted to say that one thing I think is funny about her tweet thread specifically, was she was talking about how she wanted to do her own research before. She's not anti-vax. She just wants to do her own research. And again, my girlfriend was telling me, because she works. Well, yeah. But my girlfriend works in research, and she's like, that's not even what research means. Research isn't just reading things. Research is like, especially with science, it's like conducting your own experiments. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not research where you're researching like a historical document. You're like, if it's science, you're conducting your own experiments, which these people never do.
Bro, they're just when they say research, they just mean like they're still deciding, like, or
It just means they don't want to. They don't want to say. They don't want to say that they're anti-vax because they know that it looks bad. You know?
And it's sad too because Gabe, like, I know we probably have people in our family who are anti-vax, and
Oh,
I mean,
yeah, I got a story for you about that.
oh God, I really don't want any more updates. I'm getting to that age now
No,
where I don't even want to.
It's nothing you would even guess.
Oh God, that's even
There's
worse.
no one or in nothing you would even. Yeah, I know. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, I'm just saying that like it's really sad because we probably know so many people personally who are anti-vax, just because I know so many black people, and to see someone like Nicki Minaj, who has so much influence over black people, say stuff like that is really disappointing. And I think what's worse is that there haven't really been a lot of rappers responding to her by saying you should get vaccinated. Like, I think it would be cool if, I know you wouldn't do it, but if Drake was just like, hey, you know, girl be tripping sometimes. It's okay.
Wagwan.
Come to Canada.
Wagwan, Nikki.
Wagwan.
I'm to the sick side, you know.
Like, I just want, I don't know.
Real thing, eh?
I just feel like someone should have called her out.
That's like a real battery.
They say the vaccine is going to turn you into
that.
a batty boy.
Yeah, damn. Drake further convinces her not to get it.
I'm kidding. But anyway, I wish one of her contemporaries would have called her out, is all I'm saying. Like, I wish.
I mean, all Drake has to do is say, take a shot for me, you know? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Did you come up with that?
Yeah, I was sitting here this entire time thinking something.
That was really good. That was actually really good. Shit. But yeah, I guess we've exhausted this topic because we're all on the same page with it, and we've kind of like eviscerated her. But folks, we're gonna say it for the millionth time, and we're gonna say it again: get vaccinated or don't, and stay inside.
Nicki Minaj, do better.
Because I mean, who doesn't want big old balls? Am I right? So, on to the next topic. Well, it's kind of a disjointed episode because I feel like I am on a different page with this topic than you guys. But do you guys know who Karen Civil is?
No, barely. I've heard the name a bunch.
I've heard the name a bunch. Yeah, put me hip.
Okay, well, basically, she's just like a hip hop mogul. She's one of those literally one of those people who doesn't have a real job, but like her Twitter and Instagram bio says like media personality and like consultant and agent and that type of thing.
That's the dream.
That's what I'm saying. That's literally the dream. But basically, she's just getting exposed for scamming a lot of people, taking their money, and she said she was going to do promotion for a lot of artists and ended up not doing it. Recently, people who called her out include Cameron.
I saw Freddie Gibbs said something, right?
Freddie Gibbs said, I'm a real
Or he made a
nigga.
joke about it, maybe.
Yeah, she could not touch me.
Okay, never mind.
Okay,
never mind.
Joyner Lucas and another rapper, someone else. But what's interesting to me about this is Karen Civil had a podcast. Oh, okay. Karen Civil had a podcast on Joe Budden's network, and he's also another hip-hop icon who is known for being quite deceitful. And it just really saddens me that we're still getting more stories about this and people scamming other people in hip-hop. And allegedly she took $60,000 from Joyner Lucas and didn't do anything for him or with him.
Damn.
And I don't know, man. I just wanted to bring it up because it's very relevant in the world of hip-hop and rap. And I want to know what you guys think about this because obviously she's a black woman. And obviously, you know, she kind of used that to her advantage because there is no white artist on God's green earth who was working with Karen Civil. I can tell you that. So I don't know. It just really disappoints me. And I want to know what you guys think about that. I mean, she basically just stole money from these people. I know it's not good, but like, it just, as someone who feels like the barrier to entry in that industry is so ridiculously high.
That's kind of what I was kind of thinking that. Like, a lot of these guys are in such precarious positions. Like, I feel like rap now, especially, so many of these guys just like come and go for, you know, for being in the news for like something sensational or like one song that blows up for like flipping a sample or I don't know, saying something particularly outrageous or whatever. And like, they know that their position's very precarious, like I said. And that's bad enough, but then to have established media people like preying on that insecurity, you know what I'm saying?
There's that angle too, and there's the angle that like for people like us and for people who are similar to us who would dream of just being like half as successful as someone like Karen Civil, or to have like a third of the opportunity that Karen Civil has, and just to see that like everyone you kind of look up to, not that I ever looked up to her, but everyone who's in a position that you'd want has gotten there by stealing and scamming. It just makes you think like, why am I even still doing this? Why am I on a show with Max and Gabe? It's really disappointing. And
how do we scam and steal our way to the top?
That's what I'm saying. It's like I don't have.
We have to sell out Gabe, I think, is what we have to do.
I guess.
Man, they don't know we've been doing all the guests we've had on the show so far. What?
It's just ugh. And it really sad because it's such an oversaturated market. So there's so many people trying to get put on, and the only way they can get put on is by scamming. That's what it seems like.
I've been running through my man Nahal's pockets this whole time. Like I've been getting to it, bro.
He shouldn't have given me his. He shouldn't have given me the last 4 digits.
Shout out. What'd you say, Max?
Yeah, shout out.
They shouldn't have given me the last 4 digits of his SSN. I don't know why I did that, but
yeah, stupid. Yeah, dumb.
Unofficial 4th member of the squad. Sorry, bro.
5838, dumbass. There it is.
But like, bro,
I know what you mean, man. That is true. I mean, I just think like if we were to,
but like white people have been stealing from like black artists for like white executives. For forever. Everyone knows that. And so there's been this whole push for like black artists to do this, yada, yada. And I don't even want to go there right now because I feel like this is sensitive, but like I'm pretty sure she's like a 2nd-gen immigrant. I mean, listen, I'm not saying that means.
No, I know what you mean.
I'm just saying.
Here's this as a, not to, you know, make this joke obvious, but like you're talking about tax the rich style stuff. That's what you mean too. It's not just putting people in positions of power. It's the power itself.
Oh yeah,
you know, the system rewards people who scam and lie their way to the top.
And that's, I think, okay, I couldn't put it in words. That's what I've been trying to say about hip hop media and hip hop and rap commentating and hip hop like agency and management. It's like, from my experience and the people I know that are in it, and for wanting to get into it, it's very discouraging because from what I've seen, I just haven't seen someone honestly get there.
I mean, I feel like there's people like, you know, Adam 22 is someone that comes to mind, and I just saw an Instagram post of like a rapper from Detroit with Adam 22, and from what I can tell, people like actual rappers like Adam 22 a lot, and you know, people rightfully criticize him for being extremely corny and like, you know, kind of sensationalizing violence or drug use or all that kind of stuff. And I don't think they're wrong at all, but the rappers themselves seem to like Adam 22. And I think part of that, honestly,
you mean the rappers who also sensationalize drugs?
Well, okay, that. But I mean, like, I think he does have a certain level of respect for like the artists he has on and people he has on.
I agree.
And
like, he comes from a similar background, honestly.
Yeah, and like, he just wants to hang out. You know, I think he took it too far in a good way, but like, I think he just wanted to hang out. And I can imagine if we were to have guys that we like on, just like talking and shooting the shit with them, like being funny or whatever. Like that is more beneficial to them and to us than like any like scamming people. You know what I'm saying?
And that's my ultimate question: is what is the end game for people like this? Because let's say you do scam an artist, and then the artist goes on to become like J. Cole or someone very successful. Now you're gonna get aired out and look stupid.
Yeah,
so
but there's someone else who's that desperate.
Right, people don't think long.
I guess they're just. It's just amazing that these people can think so short term and be so conniving and still have things I want. No, it belongs to me. If it were up to me, I would scam Karen Civil. That's all I'm saying. But
she doesn't.
That's really all I had to say about that. I want to bring it up because it's a pretty big thing in the hip hop sphere.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of another hip hop mogul from like, I assume the early 2000s, like the Ja Rule thing with what's it called, Firefest. And Joe Budden was also kind of similar to that. Maybe it's this era. Maybe it's like the early 2000s rap when like the industry was really starting to form.
It really is.
Maybe it's just like these guys were scam artists from the beginning, and now they're getting exposed.
They're opportunists.
Yeah.
They're opportunists, and it's kind of sad to see like these forefathers
And mothers.
crack under pressure. Yeah, these forefathers and mothers. But anyways, it seems that our first session time limit is kind of running up. So I don't want to start reviewing music while we only have a few minutes left. So if anyone has anything left to say before we move on to the next segment, speak now or forever hold these nuts.
I got 3 minutes. All right. Boys, I've been in Atlanta a while. I
Yeah.
can confidently say the food here, not good.
What do you mean by I don't really get what you mean. You said this earlier to us, and I don't really get it.
All the quote unquote good Atlanta places are just wings and soul food, which is cool. But then they're not. The food choices here aren't nearly that diverse. It's either, hey, let's go to this brunch place or let's go to these wing places. They're all also overpriced. It's like club food. Everything here has a club vibe. And so,
but maybe you're just staying close to campus.
Bro, these places they're all over.
Really?
All over the city. There's a Midtown, that's where Georgia Tech is, but those people aren't going to get wings and shit. No, I mean, there's cheap. I've been to cheap wing places. I've been to expensive wing places, and there's been just good and bad in between. But everything here is it's very southern and it's not diverse, but it's not distinct like New Orleans. New Orleans, while it's a specific type of food, it's also distinct.
Well, New Orleans is also more diverse because even if New Orleans is predominantly black, you have a lot of subcultures within that black community there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Jamaican people, Caribbean people here, and there's a good Caribbean place near the school. But no, it's just everything here has a club. Even like one of the food, because we have food trucks on campus, right?
Mm-hmm.
And one of them, less than a minute, one of them, it's just overpriced as hell. Is what I'm getting at.
Mine's 144. So if you want to talk an extra minute,
you should rob the food truck. Is my suggestion. But anyway, thank you for the first segment, gentlemen. And I'm going to end this so we can start the second segment in a minute.
Yeah.
So thank you, and we will see all of you guys in 1 second.
All right, I stopped, man.
Okay. Thank y'all for bearing with us. We know this 30-minute Zoom limit is really janky, and sometimes it just makes me so sad thinking about how beautiful the show was when we were all in the same state, and like watching it.
Like, what have we become?
That's what I'm saying, dude. But at least we're still doing it. That's how
The show must go on.
That's what I'm saying. At least we're making it work, and that's life sometimes. I mean, you're in school. I'm chilling.
Existing.
Max is.
I'm chilling somewhere else.
Chilling. I would disclose my actual chilling somewhere else. I would disclose my actual like occupation and whereabouts, but like there's no way I can say it on the show. So
yeah, you definitely cannot.
You definitely can't.
Oh, come on, guys. What's the worst that could happen? All right.
Let's just say Gentlemen's Club.
All right, so
let's say if you got $5,
if you got $5, you can keep it, sir. Are you guys ready to talk about actual music?
Yeah.
All right, I feel like we should start with Baby Keem, just because I feel like that's the one we've all listened to the most thoroughly.
Yeah.
And that's the one Gabe's the most excited for. So let's let Gabe kick it off.
As y'all know, big Baby Keem fan. I've been a big Baby Keem fan since Sound of Bad Habits, since the self-titled song, Baby Keem. Hold on, let me go to the album so I can get the track list up. So, I guess for a little backstory, he's been dropping a lot of singles over the last like about year. It's been like a year, right, since he's been dropping them. Hooligan was great. Sons and Critics was okay. No Sense, I thought we really like No Sense. We talked about that. Durag Activity, I like it more than I did when it came out. I still don't love it, but I do like it more. And so, all those songs were different too. I feel like we had this conversation as well, but like, I was like, what the hell is this going to sound like? Like, because it's obviously going to be different than Sound of Bad Habits and Die For My Bitch, but which is awesome title name. And then, so then it comes out. Well, the not Range Brothers. Family Ties came out. We talked about that already, but we liked it. Comes out, and I'm even more confused. Kind of, this feels to me like I can't believe I'm saying this, but of all people to have put this in my head, and for once he's right. Anthony Fantano, I think, said it. I think it was him, and I don't like Anthony Fantano, but sorry, I heard something. What he said was basically, it's like old Travis Scott's music, how like the idea is there and the execution might not always be there, but it's like you can sense where this is going. I feel like that's kind of the way I felt about some of this. I think if he's gonna compare this album to like Days Before Rodeo, I think Days Before Rodeo is much better. I think this is maybe better than Alfaro probably. But basically, there's some great, like the intro I thought was great. I thought Pink Panties was it's okay. It sounded good, and now it sounds like my ears are bleeding a little bit now. I thought Scapegoats, it's only a minute, but I thought that was like the best minute of the album. Range Brothers with Kendrick. I thought that song was hilarious. They're obviously just fucking around. His voice at the beginning is annoying. I really like how he used the Love Lockdown drums on Scars. I thought that was cool. Let me go back. I thought 16 was really good. I like Coco. I like it. I don't want to say I'm disappointed. I think my expectations were just way too high because I really like Baby Keem. I really like his energy, but I do like it a lot. Expectations aside, I do think it's a pretty nice project if you take away everything around it.
What do you mean by everything around it? Like the hype and stuff?
Well, just the fact that Kendrick's on it. I mean, that's a big deal.
And even being Kendrick's cousin sets up a lot
being
of
Kendrick's cousins.
And the first artist on whatever this is. PG
Lang.
Yeah, PG Lang. Just all that stuff. You take away all that and take away some of the old music. And I'm not saying this is inherently worse than the old music. I think it's about on par with his last project. I think artistically it's better though, but I do think musically the other project just has some bangers that this doesn't have. But it's cool. I like it a lot. I like some parts of it a lot.
I think I agree with you, especially on artistically it being better, because I learned a lot more about him. Like I didn't know that whole thing about his mom, if that is true.
Yeah.
About I think it was on Issues where he talked about how his mom left him. It's really sad. And Die For My Bitch, complete 180 tonally, because you didn't really get that kind of content. You didn't get deep cuts like that on Die For My Bitch. So I'm very grateful that he let us into his world. But I have not listened to the album more than twice. I only listened to it twice because of the show. If it weren't for the show, I'd probably only listen to it once. The only songs I replay are Do Rag Activity and Lost Souls. I replay Lost Souls.
Oh yeah, Lost Souls is good. I just need a bitch that no one knows.
Yeah,
I like that. I like that. She fuck OVO. That's just hard.
But I think what just throws me off is that this album feels like a novelty. It doesn't feel like it doesn't feel complete in a way. It feels
no, it doesn't. It doesn't feel complete at all.
It feels like he's doing things on this album just to prove that he can do it. And the best example I can show of that is Range Brothers. I know we already have Family Ties, so we don't need another serious Kendrick verse. But Range Brothers was so kind of just we're already established and we can do whatever the fuck we want and you're going to like it. To have that on your debut just seems a little condescending to me. It would have been a nice tongue-in-cheek song how Kanye released Lift Yourself, just as a single. But to put it on your debut album and I don't know, just to have it next to Family Ties, to follow up Family Ties with Range Brothers, I'm not going to say it's offensive, but it just seems a little condescending. And I guess what I mean most by novelty on this album is that it felt like it wasn't consistent in a way. It felt like he was kind of giving us a really wide palette of vibes, a really wide palette of emotions, and there was just a lot to be desired. And it could just be the fatigue of having known about Baby Keem for a couple of years now, but it just didn't seem like the highs on this album, the fun parts, were as fun as the fun parts on Die For My Bitch.
Exactly.
Right. It just seems like he didn't go deep enough on the deep cuts, and it just on the fun parts, it just wasn't as fun. So,
I do think Coco was pretty cool with Don Toliver. I like that.
Yes, that was nice. Good. And I get that he was trying to go for a more serious vibe overall because it is a debut album. But if you're going to do that, in my opinion, I think you should go all for it. If you're going
or at least more.
At least more.
It's
it kind of seemed like he was afraid to disappoint the people who got hip to him from Orange Soda.
I like that
Like,
song.
It's a great song. It's a great song, but he didn't replicate that kind of vibe. He didn't replicate that fun vibe on this album, and it was at the cost of everything else. So it wasn't disappointing, but I don't know. It just felt like there was something left to be desired, and I'm sure he can do better next time because the parts on here that I do like a lot, but I think he just needs more conceptual and creative direction for his project, especially being Kendrick Lamar's protege. Kendrick Lamar, when he crafts projects, the consistency and vibe on the project is some of the best, currently out. Every song feels like it has a place there, and all the emotions feel genuine, and it's not jarring when he jumps from serious to fun. It makes sense. This album, it just seemed like, they didn't know what vibe they wanted to go for, and they were scared to go for it.
Yeah. I'd agree.
What do you think, Max?
Well, I think I'm coming from a different place than you guys. I never really liked him that much. I didn't have a problem with him, but one thing that turned me off, pause a little bit, was on Instagram when the first one came out, Die for My Bitch. It was just like everyone was telling you to listen to this. All the A&Rs I follow, all the
Drake
producers
shouted it
I
out
follow.
on his Rap Radar.
Right. I mean, like everyone was just saying, listen.
He was supposed to be on that Drake song, and he got taken off.
Which one?
Which one?
Once in Need, the one Lil Baby, Once in Needs.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
I love you, Baby Keem.
Yeah.
But Wants and
Yeah,
Needs is a great song as is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, my point is like, just me being me, I'm not going to do something so everyone's telling me to do it. It's just annoying, don't tell me to do things. But regardless, I didn't really like him that much. I thought he was all right. I thought he was doing something different, but I didn't think there was something missing to me that kind of made me ignore him a little bit, But I listened to this one for the show, obviously. And like you, Xavier, I listened like halfway through again, just to like know what I was talking about a little more. But I don't know if I'm going to be going back to it that much. It's definitely not for me. However, I think, for someone who had lower expectations, I'm kind of impressed with a few things. I think what him and the producers are working to do rather. I think this is what rap is going to sound like a lot. I think people talk a lot about like, okay, rap kind of is the most popular music now, and people always talk about how it probably at this point has a largely white audience. Mm-hmm. And even if that's true, which I can see it being true, not to discredit anyone, but I think what the issue more is it's certainly it's a more widespread audience. It's not a specific kind of people listening to it. I think everyone listens to rap, and Baby Keem is kind of going for that. Okay, if that's the case, what do I want it to sound? I can make it sound like whatever I want. You know what I'm saying? Kind of. How do I shape rap with my image for what I think people are going to want to listen to? And I think this is what rap is going to sound like, and I don't think it's bad. Do you know what I'm saying? Kind of.
Are you saying thematically or just sonically?
Yes, both. Honestly, both. I think this is what rap is going to be like going forward a lot. I think there's going to be, people who come and go who are more sensational. There's going to be like, a trap, quote unquote trap artist or whatever. But I feel like for a long-standing popular rapper like Keem is probably going to be, this is the kind of music he should and is pretty good at making. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I think my standard
honestly, I was
really
kind of impressed.
I think my standard is just a little higher, or my expectations, is higher because I'm still coming off that 2010s era where the music wasn't as disposable. Not that being disposable is a bad thing, but I'm still not fully used to commercial artists making disposable music. Like when I listen to street artists, I feel like their music should be disposable because it's part of the full package. It's part of what makes it so hype. But when I hear someone like Baby Keem, who signed to PG Lang, make disposable music, it leaves a lot to be desired. But you're right. That is a preconceived notion on my part because there is no one that's making non-disposable music anymore.
Right.
You're right.
No one who like, there's people who there's guys people are waiting on for years. Kendrick Lamar, Drake. I mean, a little bit even Kanye. I mean, there's guys I could pick out. I can't think off the top of my head right this second. But besides that, I mean, Travis Scott's music. Well, I guess maybe he's thrown in there a little bit, but a lot of shit's just kind of disposable, and it's not bad. It's just
really,
to kind of keep.
Oh no, say what you're gonna say.
It's just to keep up with the the speed of things now, and I think maybe Keem going for a kind of like Euphoria-ish subject matter and kind of gloss, and like I think he talks a lot about like fame, but from an outsider's perspective, because that is what he is. I like that kind of stuff.
I do agree with that. I like the way he talks about how he has like sex with girls in his fame. I think I like that theme in his music because he's not like Drake. Like when Drake says
right.
It's like, okay, pretty boy makes sense. But when Baby Keem says it, it's kind of like I feel like he earned it.
Yeah, and the way he describes it is cool. Like it's like when he has a line. Okay.
It's from like a Great Gatsby kind of perspective too, I think. You know what I'm saying? It's like he's the outsider who comes into this world of like, I guess just fame and wealth in LA seemingly, and kind of can see it for what it is, but also knows that it's kind of tight. I don't know.
You're right, because he does keep a distance from the nonsense. He doesn't seem like he's caught up in it. He doesn't seem like he's retching over women and drugs and partying. But he does seem like he, indulges in those things on occasion. And you're right. Yeah. He does strike a nice balance between like, yeah, I know I live a life of excess, but you would too. And I know it's stupid, but you only live once. Who gives a shit? You're right. He does do it from a kind of a Gatsby perspective that I take for granted. And I think that the lack of conflict on the album between those two worlds is what kind of jarred me a bit. It's like initially I would think that someone who's kind of introspective like Baby Keem would see the disconnect between those two worlds, like being an outsider and reveling in being a rapper. But when you put it that way, as in like from a Gatsby point of view, then I guess it does seem a little.
Yeah, and look, also to be clear, it's not my favorite. Musically, like I said, I'm probably not gonna listen again. I'm not a huge fan of like his shtick with the voice. I don't think he's a particularly great rapper. I think he has, like you said, I hate to say this, but like the vibe of things pretty well, but he doesn't really deliver on like anything more than that to me. I think he's trying a lot of different things here to kind of distract you from the fact that he's like not the best rapper music, and he does a lot of different things, not all equally good. But I was when it first came out, I was texting Gabe because like something about it I respect a lot, and I think it's like I said, it's interesting. I think we're going to talk about it on the show, and like we are, but it's just not like clicking for me in terms of like I like this in a way.
I mean,
but I don't think it's bad. I really don't think it's bad. Like I can see someone says they like Baby Keem a lot. Nothing against them. I think that's like I get it. I just something to me personally is like not clicking.
I know what you're saying. I'm trying to figure out what that thing is too, and it could just
be I don't know.
It could just be the fact that he's not said anything new or anything to make me go, whoa. And I feel like he's in a position too. I feel like because he isn't from that Great Gatsby perspective, he doesn't have to, he doesn't have to dissect his position in the rap game. But I still think that his position would warrant itself to having some pretty keen insights. And I just didn't get that. Like there were no moments that made me go like, ah.
Yeah, right. There's nothing there that just made me go like, okay, I'm on board.
Like the thing I like the most. Okay, the thing I like the most is when he's describing his like you talk about like he talks about like being with women. The way he describes it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like he has a line. He has a line where he's like navigating two bitches, texting them the coordinates. That's hard. That's hard.
That's true.
He has lines like that.
He does talk about getting pussy pretty well. I like that. That's true.
He does.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He has good. Yeah, he's good at that.
I think I was just waiting for like a aha type moment.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But like Baby Keem, I want to see him win.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have any problem with like the nepotism thing either. People always talk about like, oh, he's just Kendrick's cousin. He's trying to like get rich and famous. Like, how many rappers are cousins of each other, friends of each other? Like,
Yeah.
like Warren G is Dr. Dre's cousin, and there's countless other ones I could think of. I don't care about that at all.
He's
I
obviously
think
talented.
Nate Dogg is
Like-
related to Snoop Dogg
Really?
in some way.
Something like that. They're both, yeah. I mean, there's,
Nudie and
there's,
21.
there's
Yeah.
right. There's countless of instances of that. I don't give a shit about that. I really don't.
And also,
I mean,
Keem
produced the whole album.
He did?
Kendrick.
Keem produced every song but 2 of them. I forget which 2 he did.
Really? Hold on. Really?
Yeah.
I feel like he's paid his dues. I feel like he's worked and written for enough people for the nepotism argument, for at least to me, to not matter.
I didn't even
Right.
know he was Kendrick's cousin when I first heard him. When I heard the
I
stuff
didn't
he was
either.
doing with Carter, when he was working with Carter.
I think he
Yeah,
hit
I
it on
kind of like
purpose.
that a little more even because I like Cardo
Yeah.
a lot. I think he's great.
I do like
And
Carter a lot.
I think he's like one of the best producers right now. So to have him being like, you got to listen to this guy, I was like, my hopes were kind of dashed a little bit earlier, I think, than you guys. But like I said, listen
Yeah,
to this.
I
I'm
didn't
not.
see the whole A&R shit around him. Somebody
Oh
literally
yeah,
played
the guy,
Baby Keem
the A&R
guitar.
for if you guys remember the Kendrick Lamar DNA video,
Yeah,
he's sitting with that white guy, Brock Corson.
I have to see it again. But
Yeah, you probably have to watch it again. But that guy, like I follow him for a while. He's an A&R who like worked with Kendrick on Damn a lot, especially, and like I think he shouts him out in the song too. I think he says his name. But all these guys are just talking so much about Baby Keem, and I was like, okay, if I want to, I will. Just stop telling me to do stuff, But oh yeah, it does say he produced everything here. Wow.
Well, that's really
yeah, so I
impressive.
mean, yeah, because the beats are good. Like they're not bad beats at all.
No, and it sounds like it's a different kind of sound that like you can see being the main sound. It's like it's impressive almost. Like because my point earlier was like, okay, if rap is now for everyone, then being the outsider, because we're all outside. I've never been to LA. I've never been to the Hollywood party. I don't know what it's like.
Mhm.
So that's a good way to be the outsider without sacrificing your like artistic voice. You're like having something to say.
And not
So-
coming across as whiny either. He's not
Right.
I'm not like other rappers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not like
So that's
that.
what I'm saying. That this is why I really think rap will sound like this, like in the coming years. I think this is what the vibe is.
I think
going
his
forward.
voice also just gets kind of boring for a whole album.
Maybe.
Mm.
Like his voice
Max,
is so
that-
unique. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, Gabe.
Max, what is you know more about like regional rap? What is because Keem's from Vegas. What does Vegas
Yeah.
rap sound like, or do you not know?
I mean, I follow this Bay Area rap account, and what he does is the guy who runs it. He'll do like upcoming artists. I'm gonna do everyone in Portland, Oregon, anyone in Phoenix, Arizona. And then he does Vegas quite a bit. Like he'll have guys like join his live and then freestyle or play their music or whatever.
Mhm.
From what I gather, Vegas does not have much. I definitely think a lot of it can be influenced by, what's happening in California at the moment, which honestly is
Well,
like Northern California right now. But Vegas itself doesn't really have any kind of musical scene besides, like the Strip performances, which isn't even. That's just people who are already very famous,
Yeah.
So
Well, I gotta say, not disappointing album, but I just haven't gone back to listen to it. That's my
Yeah.
final.
It's a couple songs I listen to that are like
Right.
in playlists.
yeah,
And also, debuts are hard.
Yeah,
Debuts are really hard. So, like, in the context of his next album, I hate to say this because it sounds like we're gonna switch our opinion, but I feel like his next album will give this album a lot more context, and it might sound better in a couple years. Because if I see
True.
clear growth, then
you get it.
I get it. Exactly. I get the bigger picture. Now, we are at a crossroads because I feel like at this point we've all listened to vastly different things. And I can say that the music I listened to was all ladies. All ladies. Can you guys say the same?
no,
I didn't think so. I have a lot of stuff I want to shout out, and I could kind of rave and rant about it for a while. So if you guys have anything you want to just do really quickly. Oh, wait. Gabe, I almost forgot. Montero.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were waiting to get to that or something. Hey, we can
Oh,
talk
no,
about it.
no. You're right. That's another big debut album that we should address before we do any shout outs. So I listened to Montero. I'll be honest. I listened to it for the first time today. I listened to it once, and besides the singles, which I've heard a lot.
Yeah.
But I listened to it on the way to work and on the way back, and I'm really surprised by it. Namely because I was expecting the album to be top 40 attempt, top 40 attempt, top 40 attempt, top 40 attempt pop songs. It was not. It was actually pretty confessional, and I was very surprised by that, pleasantly surprised by that. For some reason, I find it very fascinating when rappers talk about like how they don't mess with their mom. I think it's because you're so used to hearing about everyone's dad not being shit that when you hear someone talk about their mom, it kind of hits a little harder. So when Baby Keem talked about his mom on Issues, it kind of hit. But it hit even harder when Lil Nas X was talking about his mother on Dead Right Now. And that was the first song on the album that made me kind of go, whoa, he has a lot more depth than I initially thought. And I'm glad that he's going there. But he had a line where he was saying, like, you know, my mom made me hate myself. I know she's addicted to, I'm not, this isn't verbatim, but she's like an alcoholic, yada, yada, yada. And it was really revealing. And I was really surprised because Lil Nas X is not necessarily a clown, but someone who always, someone who always brings the fun, you know, brings the fun vibe. So to hear him kind of get heavy was really surprising, but I really enjoyed it. And there are a lot of other songs like that too. I need to look at the track list, but my overall takeaway, my overall takeaway of the album was even if I don't like it on a technical level, because I like him, but his voice is just a little too deep for his pop songs, and he doesn't go out of his vocal range a lot, so it sounds kind of jarring, like on "Call Me by Your Name," where he's kind of harmonizing on a super deep voice, and it just sounds.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, it just doesn't really fit the vibe to me, but I love the fact that he went there, and I love the fact that he didn't go the easy route. He didn't make an album full of radio singles, and I commend him for that. What do you guys think?
I agree.
I think, you know, to me, Lil Nas X is kind of what I was just talking about, where someone you feel like forced on your throat a little bit. You know, I really don't.
Pause. Jesus Christ.
Ugh. Even with
Max
him,
is
that's
pulling
so
a little
obvious.
boozy right here. He's pulling a boozy right here. Get that shit away from the kids.
Come on, man, the kids. They're gonna see this shit. He says something like,
he got banned from Instagram for having naked women, by the way. Like, nigga,
yeah, but also
guy.
He also bragged that he got his 12-year-old son a BJ.
Yeah, right.
So that he wouldn't be gay.
Dude, what?
That's so okay, and that's like criminal, I think. Anyway.
Anti-vax?
Yes.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know for sure, but yes.
Okay. I'm just saying if there's a link here between like that kind of behavior and being anti-vaxxers.
Or maybe just being from Louisiana. I don't know, but
that's not cool. You know.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Come on,
okay.
guys.
You guys are family.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like his like marketing strategy. People always say, "Yo, his marketing strategy's sick. His marketing is crazy." Yeah, or like Drake too. When people say that about a guy, it just looks like, okay, man. But I wasn't super like excited. I didn't expect much. Like I said, I agree with you, Xavier. It's not what I was expecting. He's doing much more Atlanta music. He's doing much more Atlantic trap style, which I wouldn't expect. There's definitely those singles that I'm sick of that I've heard a bunch, but for all the like tabloid shit he does that kind of irritates me. The music doesn't really need that. It's pretty good by itself. I listened when we were on our break again to a few of the songs, and I kind of did a speed run earlier too. And I don't know. I was more impressed than I thought I'd be because I really don't like his like persona. You know.
Does it make a difference if I know you've heard this before, but if I say that you're supposed to dislike his persona as a straight man?
No, I don't like what I mean is I don't like the headlines about like everyone, oh, what's the matter? You mad at me? Did I do something to trigger the conservatives or like?
But that's the thing. I feel like it doesn't matter if you're like a triggered conservative or you're just sick of hearing about triggered conservatives. I feel like either way, it kind of works. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I know every story that happened in the past like
Right.
2 months, so I guess you're right. But either way, to me that usually translates to not good music. However, like I said, this is much more. It's much more like he tried more than I thought he would because I didn't think he needs to.
And right, that's what I was thinking too. Like, I did not think he needed to try it nearly as hard as he did. So I'm very impressed that he did. And I also want to apologize because I think on episode 34, when the music video for "Call Me by Your Name" first came out, we were talking about, or it was me that was saying, like, interesting decision that he would make something so explicitly gay after being the #1 single artist of all time and alienating his audience. I think it paid off, and I think it's going to continue to pay off in dividends because the LGBTQ community, at least in America, will only get more influential, for the better. So his presence will also, be felt more in mainstream culture. And what he stood for, what he's done for being a gay black guy, a young gay black guy, will live forever. And it's also given him a lot more depth. It's given him a lot more. It's made me respect him a lot more, and it's just given him something to actually rap about. Because Old Town Road was cool, but I just knew he couldn't sustain a whole album. But the fact that he's living his truth and he's pissing people off, conservative or otherwise, it makes me respect him. And I also like how he talked about not even just that, but being a dark-skinned dude and being like, how he used to get picked on for his physical features. And he just embodies, the zeitgeist right now.
Yeah, a little bit.
And he, what were you saying, Gabe?
A true Ebo man.
You say true what, man?
Ebo.
Is he Ebo?
No,
He's not Ebo.
Oh.
Just being funny.
Oh. You're going to have the Ebos in our comments saying, like, Ebo men are not gay. I'm kidding. But he captures the zeitgeist. Like, I really respect him for it. And the only criticism I have is his voice is so deep. Like, and it sounds cool when he's rapping, but when he's harmonizing, it's just.
Yes. Basically, sound a little more gay, please. Is what
that's what I was talking about with my brother. I was saying he is cool, but like I have never seen someone in the mainstream so flamboyant with no affect on their voice, and it's really jarring because it's a stereotype.
Conspiracy time.
It's a
conspiracy time. Is he really gay? Let's talk to me.
Oh,
go see what's up, Gabe.
Stupid. No.
Go meet him. I'm sure he's in Atlanta.
But like,
prove it.
I don't think you're really gay, Nas X. But
destroy this pussy, Nas X. No,
I know it's a stereotype that gay men are supposed to have an affect on their voice, and I think it's cool that Lil Nas X is defying that stereotype. But still, he needs to develop a singing voice because his speaking voice cannot be his singing voice because it's just so monotone, and it sounds deeper than a baritone. It honestly sounds like a bass, and when you have a bass voice, you gotta learn how to sing. I'm sorry, but no, he's a great guy, and I like the fact that he's still making pop hits, but also divulging some of his own personal details. And my only wish is that on his next release, we get a little more maturity and also better collabs. I know that he hit up Nicki and Drake last minute. They couldn't make it on the album, but there's no excuse to just have like Doja Cat and Miley Cyrus. I like the Doja Cat one was cool.
It's Doja Cat, Miley Cyrus, Elton John. I don't remember how that.
Elton John's cool too.
Megan Thee Stallion and Jack Harlow. Dude, I hate seeing. Ever since you told me that like the featured versus like artist and this one. Oh. I hate that. It's so like annoying. You get, oh my god.
And this might be indicative of straight black guys and rap anyway, but like the fact that no straight black guy had like the time to make it on his album, even though it would have improved.
I was gonna say, would Drake have done this?
That's what I'm saying. Like the fact that none of them, like
much
Jack
respect,
Harlow,
bro,
is
but
the
I can't.
only guy that appeared on the album for obvious reasons, and it's really disappointing. I wish more people would be open to work with him. Kid Cudi heaped praise on him, but he's not on the album. And I just wish now that Lil Nas X has been established, he could kind of move out of his own orbit and integrate himself into the larger musical picture, because it still feels like he's ostracized for being a viral one-hit wonder. And I think at this point in the game, you know, let him in, fellas. Work with him.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. But I don't know. Do you guys think because it's being very critically acclaimed right now, do you think it's all warranted? Because a lot of people will say, a lot of homophobic people will say, they're only giving him these scores because he's gay. And honestly, I don't necessarily agree with that. But even if that's true, is that wrong?
No, I was about to say, no, it's not wrong.
Right.
I think a lot of people, especially who were in the Starlight and then came out, you know, like if someone, Frank Ocean obviously is an example. And like people say Blonde, the moments where he's being more open about his sexuality are they're more of them on Blonde than Channel Orange, obviously. And that makes it better or worse. It makes it good either way, you know? So yes, I think even if you were to say he only is getting this praise because he's gay, well, that affects the music. It affects him as a person. It affects the music. It affects what he has to say, all that stuff. So yes, that is important. That being said, if the music's good, then it's good. That's what the issue is. And like we said, it's pretty good. You know, I wasn't expecting more than like a, you know, in my head, like number wise 5, 6, you know, it's a solidly like good album, you know, like 7 out of 10 to me. I don't think you should give it more praise than it's worth. I haven't seen anyone doing that, to be fair. It's not like, you know, there is some kind of agenda I think is happening. It's not like he's been like, he's the next critical sensation, but he's getting what he deserves. Certainly. Yeah.
And like, that's another point I want to reiterate, that even if he is getting quote unquote inflated scores for being gay, I mean, he's a rapper and rap is a very political genre. And he's doing something that has not been done before in this mainstream. Like we talk about gay artists and rappers all the time on the show, but none have had the platform that Lil Nas X has had, which is being the #1 single artist of all time. And the fact that he's done that, honestly, boosts the score. Rap is political, get over it. So I'm glad that we could all agree on Montero by Lil Nas X. And now we have one final segment where I think we could just shout out all the music we've been listening to for the past couple weeks that we're not really going to go into full detail review mode for. So, yes, join us for the next segment, and I'm going to end this one right here.
Oh, me too.
Welcome to the home stretch of Shameless Plug, where we get to talk about all the music we want to recommend but not actually review. So, I can start off because I have been listening to like 3 albums consistently. Three women, 3 albums consistently for the past week that I feel like deserve a lot of recognition, a lot of praise. The first being Lil Sims Album, Sometimes I Might Be Introvert. Okay, not a big fan of the name of the album, but I get that it's an acronym for her actual name. I'm just really tired of the whole trend, like the Roddy Ricch thing.
That was terrible. That was way worse.
Roddy Ricch's album was called Please Excuse Me.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Please excuse me for being antisocial. And
luckily it was good. Thank God it was good.
Yeah, thank God the album was good. And that's exactly how I feel about Lil Sims Album too. I just want to start off by saying, I just realized this, maybe it's just me, British rap sounds so much better when it's a woman's voice.
Better than a man's voice or better than an American woman's voice?
Better than a British man's voice.
I'll say they're equal.
I don't know. British dudes just sound like...
It depends for me. I think some of them sound really cool, but I think some of them also sound really corny.
I don't know, but I can look past Lil Sims' accent because she's not a grime rapper, so it sounds a little easier on the ears. But I want to give this album a recognition because I've been listening to her honestly for about 5 years. And the first album I heard from her was the Allison Wonderland album. What's it called?
It was the one with the guy who did all those drawings of rappers, but like in fantasy settings. You know what I'm talking about? Probably not. But it looks like it's like her head and like it's like
Still,
surrounded
yeah,
by.
that's the album. That's the one I heard her from her first, which was 2017. Excuse me, that's 4
Yeah,
years
same.
ago. It's called Stillness in Wonderland. And I was a big fan back then. She was really introspective. She was really unique. She was very down to earth, which is what I enjoyed a lot. And she also had very tight production, which is good because I feel like a lot of down to earth rappers kind of have lazy ass production. But she, stood out in that regard. This album up the ante a ton. It's cinematic, and I don't know how she pulled it off because I don't know who she signed to, or who. Stop texting the group chat, Gabe.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I was gonna forget the joke.
I don't know what record label she signed to. I don't know what the budget was for this album, but it sounds expensive, and not in a bad way. It sounds big. She has choirs. She has like oscillating vocals. She has just like immaculate production. And I don't want to compare it to anyone like Kanye or anything like that, but the use of strings and the use of sampling, it was just grand. And she really tapped into. She really. What's wrong?
Reading her Wikipedia.
Oh God, no.
She is ethnically Yoruba.
No. Okay, I'm just kidding. We love all.
No, he's kidding.
we love all diaspora on the show. Anyway, I'm just really impressed that she could pull off such a big album, with how kind of low key of an artist she is, and it felt really heartfelt. It felt really soulful, and it felt refreshing because every song was a full song. It wasn't like a minute 59 seconds. Every song felt complete, and she was doing something completely new, completely different. Not just as a British artist, but as a rap artist in general. No album has come out has sounded like this all year. And it is contender for album of the year, rap album of the year for me so far, because
Wow.
it gives off. She's not Kanye level, but the grandness of it in relation to her gives off a My Beautiful Dark vibe. It's cinematic, and the standout tracks to me were two worlds apart, which I tweeted on the Shameless account. Fear No Man, How Did You Get Here, and I think that was it. Oh, Rolling Stone. My only complaint: too many interludes. I like when there's usually only like one or two interludes. There's like 3 on this, I believe. Maybe there's only 2, but I think there's 3. And it was kind of long. It's an hour, 5 minutes, but really, really impressed by this. Sometimes it might be introvert, Lil Sims. The second album I want to shout out, artist I shouted out last year on the show. Honestly, the first episode of Shameless Plug I did with Max, it was called Baby Powder by Genevieve. She had her full debut come out. It was called Division. Very impressed by her because at first I wrote her off as, another curly-headed, light-skinned R&B singer. But she pulled off a really good debut. She sounds like how Tinashe sounded when she was younger, but a little cooler. She sounds like she has a lot more swag, a lot more self-confidence. And Tinashe is also, great artist. Love her too. But she sounded very sure of herself, which is great for a debut album. Some of the standout tracks are Nowhere, Resume, and Crybaby. The only complaint I would have is that, her vocal range, I said this about Lil Nas X, her vocal range is very limited, but she makes up for it with the production on this album. Production is very diverse. It kept my attention, and I'm really excited to see what she does in the future because she knocked it out of the park with this one. And finally, the last album I've been listening to for quite a bit, actually 2 albums. I've been listening to Crispy Life Kid a lot for some reason. It's not one of the women, but I'm just looking at the album on my phone, and
You're hip.
yeah, third person. But what was the other one? Oh, Starcrossed.
Dumbass.
What'd you say?
It's with a K, dumbass.
Oh, okay. And
He
then
says that before his songs.
Starcrossed by Casey Musgraves. I like it because it's about her divorce. and I like any album that's about divorce except Paula by Robin Thicke. That sucked. But any album that's about divorce is honestly has a soft spot for me. Hear My Dear, Marvin Gaye, all that stuff.
Oh, Marvin Gaye's were nuts.
That's what I'm saying. I love a good divorce album. Uh, but she definitely
People
is
gonna think
not a
you have a
country
broken.
artist. What's up?
People gonna think you got a broken childhood.
Probably. Whatever. But Casey Musgraves is definitely not a country artist anymore. It says country on Apple Music. Don't be mistaken. She has a slight accent. This is a full-on pop album. Not necessarily hyper pop, but it's just like straight up pop. And that's not even a bad thing. I'm glad that she crossed over. She's too good for country, if we're being honest. But
she's Nashvilleian too.
is she from Nashville?
She's around here. Probably now.
Oh, well, but she dates black men, so I got to shout her out. But standout tracks to me were Gracias a la Vida, Hookup Scene, Simple Times, and Good Wife. A lot more diverse production than she had on Golden Hour. Golden Hour was definitely a slow burn. This one, pretty hype, pretty upbeat. And I know when Golden Hour came out and won all the Grammys, I was kind of skeptical because I was thinking she was kind of just an industry pushed artist that they just want to make the next big thing in country. And I didn't really see all the hype. Or sorry, that was with pageant material. I'm a Casey Musgraves stan, excuse me. But once Golden Hour came out, I saw the promise and she delivered on Starcrossed. So shout out to you, Casey. I really like the work. If you need another divorce, I'm always down because this album was great. You gentlemen, what have you been listening to?
Me first? Okay. I'll say Xavier. I think more British rap than both of you. British rap definitely right now is there's the drillers, the guys who are, they mean business. And then there's people who are way more introspective and kind of lo-fi. And I think the drillers get most of the attention. For good, I mean, I love a lot of them, but a lot of the lo-fi, artists, the more down-to-earth artists are very underrated because they're British. And there's like Knox is really good too. Lil Sims for sure. Jadesy, who's friends with Mike and all the guys I like over here. There's a lot of good, more traditionalist British rappers if anyone is interested. Lord Apex too. What I've been listening to, I listened to 2 albums that I was a little underwhelmed with, and then I'm gonna talk about 2 that I liked. So the first one, do you guys know who Home Shake is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I haven't heard that name in like a while though.
I know. Well, he had an album come out, and he's interesting to me because I like to think that I have pretty good. I like what I like. I don't have any guilty pleasures. I wouldn't say it sucks, but I like it. Because usually if I like it, I think it's good. But Home Shake is something where it's like if someone says I hate this, it sucks, I'd be like, yeah, I kind of understand. And this past album, I didn't even like that much. It's so fucking boring, and it's just the same shit over and over. It's so monotonous. There's no difference in any of these songs.
Is it all lo-fi?
Yeah, it's extremely low effort, which I understand. And he has a radio show I listen to every month because I think he has really good influence pool, But dear God, this one I couldn't excuse. It was just so boring to me.
What's it called? The name of the album?
It's called Under the Weather, I believe. And look, as background music, it's good background music, and it's good I
Chill
hear
beats
one
to study
song.
to.
Yeah, chill beats is chill to study /vibe too. Yeah, and if I hear it in shuffle, I won't turn it off. I like the sound of the music, but as a fucking album, Jesus Christ, it's a chore to listen through, honestly. And I like the guy too. I like what he does, and I think he does something that not a lot of people other do well. But this one's just a little too much for me. The other one that I listened to, I wasn't a huge fan of, was Before I Die by Park Hyjin, and I put one of her songs on the playlist last year, maybe.
Yeah, I remember that.
I liked her first 2 EPs. I think the first, maybe an album. Either way, 2 projects I like a lot. I think if you don't know, she's Korean and she makes dance house kind of music, but it's really unique because she adds her voice, and her voice kind of becomes part of the beat because it's monotonous and kind of low, and it's repeating the same thing over and over, And I've liked her dance music a lot in the past. And this album she released, I guess 2 weeks ago at this point, maybe a week ago, it wasn't dancey enough. It wasn't house enough. And it was too much of that voice. You know what I mean if you listen to it. it's just her repeating phrases that like don't really make much sense, or it's too focused on her voice when that's not her strong suit at all. It works best when she blends her voice into the, you know, the rhythm of a song. I just didn't think she did that very well this time. Was a little disappointed in that because I like her a lot, and I think she's just part of the reason I got more interested in like, you know, dance music or house music in general, you know. So that's that. Two ones I liked a lot were, I've put him on the playlist too, rapper from New York, YL. I actually put him on the story a few days ago, and he reposted that. So if you're listening, thank you.
Ooh.
Yeah. But he's just like, you know, the project he had, the EP he had last week wasn't anything that different from what he's been doing. But I like it so much, the more the better. And if you like kind of, you know, more, like I said, down to earth, lo-fi rap without kind of the kind of pretentiousness that we've talked about a little bit of other guys similar, or even like more Urban Outfitters style, like the kind of like pretentiousness I'm not really a fan of. I think you should listen to this guy. He's much more like normal. He raps to rap, if that makes sense. So I would definitely listen to that. And then the other one I listened to a lot was, ironically, because I talked shit about him, I think literally last episode, if not the one before that. Jay Worthy had an album with Bugsy, who's a producer I like a lot, and this guy TF. And if you guys remember, on Schoolboy Q's album before, what was one before Crash Talk?
Blank face.
Yeah. Okay, he had a song with his friends TF and Traffic. It's one of the more like gangster ones.
Mm-hmm.
It's that guy. It's TF from that guy, and Jay Worthy and this producer Bugsy, and it's called Ballad of a Dope Fiend, and it's very LA sounding without sounding dated. I'm a big fan of that always. And
Jay Worthy
think
was on. Sorry to interrupt. Jay Worthy was on Isaiah Rashad, right?
he was.
Yep.
And so that was 2 weeks ago, you're right. And he was also on something else recently that I was surprised to see him on. I forgot what it was, but he sounds pretty good on this album. He sounds like he's trying a little bit. There's some kind of theme he's going for. I don't feel like he's just like kind of phoning it in. Like, you know, the premise is like different angles of being a drug addict, not really being a drug dealer, or being like a drug dealer and thinking about the people you're serving drugs to, not just, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do.
My fiends.
Yeah. So that it's really good to me because it sounds extremely LA, you know, like G-Funky, but it doesn't sound like they're trying to make old music. It sounds like they're just doing what they want to do. And Boogie is such a great sample looper. He's been making music for a while. He's similar to Alchemist in that way too, because he's also white. But really, just a really cool rap album that came out. Not many people probably paid attention to, but I've been listening to that a lot. So,
Well,
yes, sir.
That was actually like way more than I thought you were gonna shout out. We actually.
Well, I wasn't gonna talk about the ones I didn't like, but I figured like I might as well, you know.
What was that last one?
Empty the clip.
Ballad of a Dope Fiend by Jay Worthy, TF, and Boogie.
Does he talk about being a dope fiend? Did he talk
gotcha.
about what he was?
I mean, I don't think they were dope fiends, either of them, but
The Ballad of a Dope Head.
dope head, yeah. There's some that are just drug dealing stuff, which I mean I like, but it's cool. Just like under the radar kind of thing, I think. So I would listen.
Good
the
stuff.
only new album I want to shout out is World Tour Mafia.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
So can I even say this? I'm thinking about my safety here. No, I'm talking shit. No, it's good. I do think the mixing on it at times makes it borderline unlistenable, but the rapping is really good. Everybody on all of them can rap, especially together. The features are good. They're cool. I don't know. Like I know like they be working with Los and Nutty, you know, Shameless Plug favorites, and you know V's and stuff. And I think they have.
They're in the right circles for sure.
Yeah, they have a cool energy that other people in Detroit, like, we haven't seen like that kind of group thing since Team Eastside and Band Gang and all that. And I mean, we know how that unfortunately went, but
Seems like a lifetime ago.
It does. I mean, yeah, that does feel like forever ago. That like feels like another life. That doesn't
It
even feel like
literally
that happened in
feels
my
like a
life.
separate
Like
life,
it
I
happened
know.
before I was alive. Like I remember it vividly. Some of it.
What are the standout tracks on World Tour Mafia?
I like Corner Sweet. I like John Wall. Fuck Your Couch. I like that one. In Gangerville. And
I was gonna
then
say I really like that name.
Fuck Your Couch.
Well, that's what
Well,
V's calls
Gangerville.
himself, ganger. It's so
Yeah.
weird. It's so funny.
Ganger.
It's like real ganger. I don't really know why he does that.
Wavy Daisy Tour with Daisy Lane,
Yeah, that's nutty.
Nutty, of course. That one's good. And there's another one I can't remember.
Oh, is he cutting out for you?
No, Gabriel.
No.
We were so close,
Listening to
dude.
music. It's been a lot of old stuff.
I didn't
Oh,
even
no.
think
So what?
about connection. Gabe, you cut out for a sec.
Oh, I was just saying I haven't been listening to that much new stuff recently.
That's all right. You're busy with school. You're busy getting that
What
ass.
were you saying though? You said you didn't make that connection about what?
No, we were so close, and then you just connected out for a bit. You disconnected,
goddamn.
I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's okay.
You anti-connected.
Yeah. Also, shout out Matt Miller's best mixtape coming soon to.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
that's gonna be amazing. I know I already listen to it all the time on SoundCloud, but
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
too.
I got it on DatPiff on my iPod Touch that is somewhere in my house.
Oh God.
Yeah, memories, man.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
glad
I think
other
it's my
people are
favorite.
finally going to listen to it because when I tell people to listen to it and it's not on like streaming platforms, like people who are not big music fans, they're like, "Oh, I don't give a shit anymore."
Is every song on it?
Yeah, to my knowledge.
Are you sure? Every single one?
I was gonna say I don't know, cause
No, it was like 32 songs. There's only 25.
What
me see.
are they? What are they missing?
Rain is on there. Weddings on there. Funerals on there. Diablo's on there.
Okay.
Polo Jeans is on there.
Is therapy
Okay,
on there?
good.
Therapy. Yeah.
What about the one
Okay.
with Dash and Earl? What's that one
New
called again?
Faces.
New phases, yeah.
Yeah, that's there.
Yeah.
The one with Rick Ross, Insomniac. The one with Mike Jones. Everything I remember vividly.
Yeah,
is there,
everything I
think.
like is on there. So whatever's missing.
What Angel
there-
Dust?
White Angel Dust.
Yeah.
What about the intro? What's the intro? I did it without a blank feature. What's that called?
Inside Outside.
Is that what it's called?
Angel Dust
Yeah.
is there.
Okay, good. What's not there then? Jesus.
Something. I don't know. I swear it was 32 songs though.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, either way.
Either way, the good stuff is there. And so if you haven't listened to it, you might as well. Listen to it now, of course, because it's really good. But it's nothing. You might as well just wait a couple weeks.
Yeah, you can listen to it now. It's true. It's not a release, really.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, but
No, you're right.
some
you're right.
people are weird about listening to shit that's not on streaming.
Yeah, it's so weird. I never was like that. I mean, I still have. The reason I got Apple Music was because I had so much
Oh shit, dude! It's sorry.
Dapif
It's
music.
storming, and I left my carrots on top of the car. I'm so sorry. I gotta go get those really soon.
Why did-
shit.
That's such an odd realization.
I was walking them back into the apartment, and I just realized I forgot the carrots on top of the car because I let someone into the door. Sorry to interrupt you guys.
I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh yeah, I mean, I had so much music from like Faces I needed downloaded. I don't know if Spotify did that where you could like combine your downloaded music with your streaming music.
Yeah.
It does do that?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well I don't think it did when I got Apple Music, but
Yeah,
That's what I
it
got.
doesn't now though, man. Yeah, how you do it like through your computer and shit?
yeah.
Yeah. I'm just
Well-
lazy because it takes a while.
Gentlemen, I want to thank all of you for gathering digitally this evening to discuss all things hip hop music related. We are running kind of long, so I want to just
Pause.
make sure. Shut up, bro. I just want to make sure we end things on a good note. So, is there anything you guys have to say before I run outside and get these goddamn carrots?
Nah, there was one thing I want to talk about, but it's long, so we'll talk about it next episode, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be more information about it next episode anyway. So
No,
it'll
not
probably
that.
be-
Not that.
Not
It was
Gabby.
music. It was music. I don't care about that anymore. I'm
Okay.
over it. She's dead, boo hoo, get over it. Niggas
Jesus
die
Christ.
every day, B. Nah, the Rolling Stone thing, but it's
Oh yeah. I forgot about
Yes. I mean,
It's-
it's
it's
Rolling
BT.
Stone. Am I right?
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
There's no shameless plug. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Dear God, can I make a top 500 song ever? No, I couldn't.
Papa was a shameless plug.
The shameless plugs. But
RESPECT and shameless plug.
Oh, all right.
I heard it through the Shameless Plug.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in to another great episode of Shameless Plug. As you know, you can follow all the hosts on social medias, but you can also follow the Shameless Plug official Instagram and Twitter page. We're still active on those, even though we're all remote. So tap in and be sure to link up with all of us. And thank you so much for tuning in. And we will see you guys next time. Peace.
Hi, everyone. I wasn't recording. Fuck.
You dumb. Okay, never mind.
Oh, I forgot because because I need to.